more clear than ever that the greatest problem in this country is not illegal immigration. It is not the taxation of every single citizen that has a job. It's not the gas prices. It is white liberal people. They are the biggest threat to this country right now. They are in Delulu land, out there protesting that Maduro has been taken captive, that he's no longer in charge of the country that he lived in, peddling drugs across the globe. They have the audacity to stand in protest demanding his release. Yeah, I can understand why the president of China is doing it. Makes sense to me. Communist for communist. Makes sense why other countries are demanding his release, namely the communistic type. But here in our own country, they're out there protesting and demanding that Maduro be returned to his country so he can continue his shenanigans in his own land, affecting our people here. Yes, he is a threat. It is America first. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you think. That is fact, okay? Coming from a Latino, recognize.
I'm going to try to say this as respectfully as I can. To our Democratic and liberal friends, to hopefully well-intentioned but poorly informed people, sit this one out. See, when the people who are mostly affected are celebrating in the street, this is not the time for you to protest. If you do not personally know someone who tells stories about their father or grandfather being gathered in the street and killed in front of them for their opinion, if you have never had to console your friend because she didn't get to go visit her mother on her deathbed and has never been able to go lay flowers at her gravesite because she was not allowed back into her own country, sit down respectfully. What you have to understand is that regardless of your opinions about President Trump, to a lot of people, he is an answer to prayer. Yes, people have prayed for the downfall of this dictator. And like it or not, President Trump has been the answer to that prayer.
If you're in America or from another first world country with the privilege of democracy and you're suddenly very concerned about the United States taking Venezuela's oil, let me tell you something. Don't be. Iran, Cuba, China has been receiving our oil for free in exchange for protecting a dictator who has spent 26 years killing us, exiling us, making us disappear. So please be more concerned about this dictator who is killing us, exiling us, and making Venezuelans disappear than about the United States taking our oil, which, by the way, it's a benefit for you. Be concerned about the imperial powers like Iran or Russia that are already in Venezuela. And if you're not Venezuelan, please do not criticize our celebration because you clearly have no clue what we've been through. By the way, when you start your comment like that, insulting someone who is celebrating their freedom and thanking the United States of America for capturing this criminal that we've been wanting out, it's not okay. Thank you.
Didn't Venezuelans just fight back if they hated the government? Because the government took their guns back in 2012. Let that be a lesson to you. Venezuelans have literally been fighting back with sticks and stones while the government and the military just mows them down with their guns and runs them over with tanks.
Brad, so I want you to start this off. You can go wherever you want to go, but what are your thoughts?
8 million people, 8 million Venezuelans have left Venezuela since that dictator came in the power. The biggest migration ever because of a dictator that came in and completely destroyed that country. That country before the dictators came in was one of the richest countries in the world.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
They sit on the largest oil reserves in the world by a lot, by 3 times. The next is Saudi Arabia, but they have 3 times the amount of oil that they do. Why that country is starving to death? Why, when you go look at Saudi Arabia, every one of them drive around in Rolls Royce. They get $80,000 a year just because they're Saudi Arabian citizens.
Yep.
From the oil. The amount of corruption that is going on in Venezuela through Cuba. One of our secretaries were saying on Fox News the other day, guess who was guarding that man? The Cubans, not Venezuelans.
Yeah, it was all Cubans. Yeah, his entire militia was Cubans.
Cuba ran that man. That man took orders from Cuba, who in turn took orders from China and took orders from Russia.
And Iran.
People don't understand. If you look at the way the world's going, and Trump's outright said it, this is our hemisphere. Lines are being drawn. The old Axis allied powers, like it was in World War II, it's happening. The lines are being drawn in the sand, and Trump is smart enough to know this is our hemisphere. None of you are bringing your boats over here. And it's not happening. And he's the only one that's had the gall to do this. And to the benefit of the Venezuelans. But he didn't go down there to oust that dictator to help Venezuela. That was a result.
Yeah.
That was a good result that happened. The reason he done it was because he knew he was a criminal. And he was so in bed and so corrupt that he would let these Chinese and the Russians and stuff start building bases to where they could just march up Central America or have a straight jump across the Gulf of the U.S. Not happening. Not happening on his watch. And so, yes, it is the result that happened was incredible. But understand Trump's America First policy. He says what he means and he means what he says. And if that means that he has to start going into places with Delta and with the DEA and with the FHT and the HRT, he's going to do it. And I believe Cuba's next. I think Cuba's next on this list. You're going to see him go in there and take him too. And Colombia. But he's telling them all what he's going to do. He's like, look, you're either going to play or you're going to pay. We're done playing your stupid games.
Celeste, I want to get you in on this conversation. I want to say this. What are you willing to do to maintain our way of life?
That's right.
And to maintain our safety?
Yes.
I don't understand these people out here marching, protesting, complaining that they went down there and basically liberated a people. And in the midst of that, also helped to fortify our safety. I don't think people really understand the geopolitical aspect of this.
No.
It's bigger than it's bigger than the dictatorship, as Grasso mentioned.
Yeah.
People got to understand that China is trying to get a foothold in the Western Hemisphere. We cannot allow that to happen.
Right.
Venezuela allowed them to park their nuclear submarines right off the coast.
Right off their coastline. We cannot allow that to happen. Not in our hemisphere. Not right up the road from us. And not when they can literally just march their way up the daggone road into our country. We just had a previous administration that was so weak. They fast-tracked everything that they were doing over this past 4 years. They fast-tracked it.
Yes.
People don't understand. I mean, we hadn't talked about it a lot, and I think we did speak about it towards the middle of last year, and we were talking about the BRICS nations. And think about how fast that really started to pick up momentum.
Yes.
It's a direct threat. That BRICS situation is a direct threat to us.
Yes.
What are you willing to do to maintain our way of life? Freedom isn't free.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
It's not free. And it really bothers me that you have so many people out there that are marching and protesting for a dictator and for socialism. Well, and the thing is, you look at this timeline here, and Grasso, you hit on it. In 92, they were the third richest nation in the world. I want to skip a little bit. In 2001, they voted for a socialist. And that's when things started to go downhill for them. In 2009, they banned the guns. Private ownership for citizens. Once that happens, I mean, if you think tyranny's not coming right behind it, what's really crazy is right here where it says Bernie Sanders praises their American dream. Like
that part.
What?
That part. That part.
But I wanted to show this because I want Americans to understand that Second Amendment that we have here, extremely important. This is an example. Venezuela is an example of what will happen if you allow these people to take away your Second Amendment right to defend yourself.
Thank
100%.
you.
If you think the government won't turn on you the way the government in Venezuela did to their own people,
yes,
if you think they won't do that to you, man, you got another thing coming.
Yes, they will.
Seriously. But Celeste, get in there. What are your thoughts?
Come on, Celeste.
I think that you are 100% right. Freedom is not free and is exactly paid for by the reserve currency of the United States. And there has been an open conspiracy by the BRICS nations to subvert the United States as the world's reserve currency so
Yep.
that our standard of living would be lowered, so that we would be equal among the poorest people in the rest of the world. We do not realize how we live is so different than everyone else in the world. And it is because we have the world's reserve currency. And the BRICS nations gathered together with the sole intent to try and upend us, that status and that privilege.
That's right.
So this move, by the way, and Trump has made some amazing moves, and everything seems like it's going to go down in history as the biggest thing he's done. But I think we have to keep a sharp eye on this as possibly going down, as actually changing, as Grasso says, the old access of powers in the world, and
That's right.
declaring, I mean, these people forced me to go back and reread the Monroe Doctrine and actually realize that we have the right and the authority, and proclaimed long ago that we would do whatever it took to
Yeah, the
protect our
Donahue.
hemisphere,
That's
because
right.
we understand that we live in a contiguous hemisphere.
That's
We
right.
have somebody on top of us and
Yep.
somebody below us.
Below us.
And they must be maintained in check, because that is what would make us vulnerable. We are not vulnerable by sea.
That's right.
We are vulnerable by what's on top of us and
That's right.
That's right.
Come
what's
on.
below us. So it
Excellent.
is in our interest to make sure that we have some hand. It seems as past presidents, for possibly as long as the Monroe Doctrine was written, have absolutely abdicated that responsibility and have allowed absolute foolishness on top of us and
Mm.
below us. And
Amen.
Trump has come in and said, absolutely not. We are about to straighten this situation out.
Mm.
And broader than that, the implications beyond just maintaining our status as having the world's reserve currency, we are also, if you notice, he keeps saying we must win the AI race, we must win the AI
That's right.
race,
Yep.
we
Yep.
must win the AI race. The
Yep.
reason we have to take the oil is because, unlike the climate activists would not have you to believe, it is the oil that is propelling the energy for
Power.
everything these people want
Yep.
to do. They won't be able to sail a ship over here if they don't have that Venezuelan oil.
That's
Russia
right.
doesn't get to invade Ukraine if
That's
he's
right.
not able to
That's right.
buy Venezuelan
That's
oil.
right.
China cannot take
Taiwan.
Taiwan if they don't have the oil. So
Wow.
the lie that the wind was going to allow everybody to do anything they want to do is being exposed, because the truth is, everybody knows you can't build a part. You can't send these cheap clothes over to the United States and these cheap goods to the United States, and you cannot fund your terrorism, and you cannot fund your out and out wars unless you have Venezuela's oil. And it
Mm.
is diabolical as far as Maduro is concerned. That country has multi-trillion dollars in oil that they would not spend on elevating the quality of life on their people. And they have thousands of tons of gold that they refuse to pull out of the ground to elevate the life of their people, that they would rather leave them in want and in squalor. There was a report some time ago that the Venezuelan people were starving so much that they had broken into the zoo to try and eat the animals.
Yep.
Rich countries should not allow their people to live that way. It is an absolute disgrace. It is a crime. And I will tell you this, I'm here for the trial.
Amen.
Mm.
Now, Crystal, you're younger than I am, so I ask you to please forgive me, and let me just say this before I forget it. Coming behind what Sister Celeste just said, this is why it is so important for us to people to make sure that they are very careful about the kind of social media they tap for their information. I want to say this again. This is why it is so important for you to think very carefully about who you're going to to get your answers about what's going on in the world. Because if you tap the wrong source, you'll be thinking the wrong way about these things, and you'll be putting yourself in a position to support things that's actually killing you, that's actually threatening you. This is why these kind of programs, like Wise's program here, A Righteous Perspective, are so important. This is why you have to wean yourself off of CNN and MSNBC and some of these private social media platforms that are being paid by these leftists and these liberals to spew false information. Truth is very important. And we're not talking about your truth. We're talking about the truth, the clear reasons why things are happening, and understand there is no perfect government. There's no perfect leader. There's no such thing as a perfect president, leader, but there are definitely those who are more right than others. There are definitely situations that you need to understand to know why things are happening.
I agree with everything Celeste said, 100%. Again, I had to go and sit with the Monroe Doctrine myself and, go through it, because the thing is, I think people don't stop and listen to what President Trump says. I think because the syndrome that they sit with affects their brain. So they refuse to go and do the research. Because to me, it would make you stop and say, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? Let me go look it up. And y'all, we have such a beautiful thing called the internet. You go look things up and figure it out yourself, learn what these things are, go look it up. But
You've even got AI that'll help you.
I was gonna say AI will bullet point it and give you the details that you need.
Everything you need to know. So you don't have to be dumb about these situations. Go look it up. So everyone is upset. And the thing that throws me about as the guy said in the first video, white liberals, because I'm going to tell you, this happened at 2-something. Was it 2-something in the morning that this took place? When they went in?
That sounds about right.
These people were out protesting by 9 a.m., 11 a.m. How? Where did y'all get those signs?
The signs and everything.
Make sense. This is the problem. Y'all have to, again, sometimes I have to stop and say, what world are we living in? This can't be real, because where did y'all get those signs made immediately? And y'all are ready to fight for something that y'all don't even understand. Because I'm sure if you went and asked any of them about the Monroe Doctrine, they know nothing about the Monroe Doctrine. They can't even speak on the Monroe Doctrine. And when I saw Marjorie Taylor Greene, which I really have to address her, say this is not America first, then that tells me you don't belong in Congress because you don't understand what America first is.
That's right.
Because what he did was exactly America first. Let's start off with the simplicity of, do you know how many Venezuelans would love to go back home to their country? But they didn't want to be under that man. They didn't want to be there. So
most of them were forced out.
Yeah, some were forced out and couldn't go back.
That's right.
Exactly. So that right there, America first. Again, like my sister Celeste said about the oil, everybody's like, no, it's just about the oil. Y'all don't even understand why it had to do about the oil. Y'all thought he was trying to take oil from America, not realizing, this has nothing to do with America's oil. This is about shutting down our biggest adversaries.
Exactly
with BRICS. And I want y'all to stop and realize something. While Venezuela is going through what it's going through, Iran is going through. So that's another source where China numbers getting their oil. Do y'all realize that? So right now, the two people, and mind you, Trump said that he would support Iran as well.
That's right.
And the freedom fighters that are trying to take down the Ayatollah. So you have both of China and Russia's, little back pockets where they get their oil and all their things and everything.
And again, no guns. So they're getting mowed down, but they're still fighting.
Get nothing at this point, because these people, both of Venezuela and Iran, are basically, look, the people are like, we're taking it back over. We're getting back our country. So when people say it's not America first, I need you to stop talking and go do some research, because you know nothing. You're speaking and you sound ignorant. This is America first. It's protecting America. I don't understand why you would want your enemy sitting right next to you here, your enemy sitting right next to you here, your enemy on top of you here, your enemy beneath you there. Why do you think you'll be safe with your enemy surrounding you? Trump said absolutely not. I keep telling you people, Trump plays chess while the rest of you are playing Uno. Let's just be real.
Come on, sis.
They might be playing Go Fish. Uno might be too much of a technical game.
That part. Because they really don't know, don't understand, but they stay fighting him. And all of these people that sit there and support these crazy liberals that's out in the street, these liberals are literally fighting against the Venezuelans that are celebrating. How are you fighting against the people who went through it? Like, make it make sense. Why do you think that you need to explain to them why they should not be mad? That you didn't live that life.
Their agenda is more important than those people.
Exactly. And this is why I'm so, it irritates me. And I want people to stop exactly the graph the infographic that Wise just showed. Look where Venezuela was to where Venezuela got to.
Yeah,
and this less than exactly what they're trying to bring to America.
Yep. Less than 2 decades, they went from one of the wealthiest nations in the country to people dying of starvation.
That's right.
Food shortages and healthcare issues nationwide.
And people seem to think that this is the right way, yet y'all don't sit and go and do the research. Go look at the nations that have adopted the things that these people, these democratic socialists, these far left wingers that are trying to bring into America. Look at what those countries and those people are going through before you sit down here and you sign up for these things. Okay, they're not teaching you civics in school. Again, you have YouTube University. You have go look it up. Go do something. Instead of scrolling aimlessly, go do some research.
Amen. There's no excuse for not knowing. There's no excuse, not in this day and age. Information is as free as it's ever been in the history of mankind. There's no excuse.
But you got to choose your sources very carefully, because that's the problem. We have all this information out there, but if you go to the wrong place, you'll get brainwashed and confused. And Trump will be Satan. He'll be a dictator. He'll be. Now I know the brother don't have great oratorial skills. I mean, he does say things that are not the right way sometimes. But the dude loves America, and if you do not tap the right sources, he will look like a demon to you. He will look like a madman. He will look like a dictator, and you'll get emotional about it, and you'll go and you'll jump into the bed with the devil and support his policy to get rid of Trump. This is my whole point. You think that you're doing the right thing when you're actually supporting your own demise. Please take the time, examine the different sources that are out there, and learn how to get a group of the best information sources you can find, like A Righteous Perspective. We'll put a plug for Brother Wise. But we're not the only ones out here that's providing this good information. You are responsible as a human being to do your own homework and evaluate the information you're getting and who you're getting it from, so that you don't become a part of your own demise. Please take this kind of information seriously. Stop eating CNN and MSNBC and all of these nutcases out there that's trying to help you kill yourself. There's a good reason for everything that's happening. In the Gospels, in the Bible, you remember in the Bible, everybody was saying that Jesus was, the people that were in power was saying that Jesus was a heretic. He was a Beelzebub. He was a demon. They said, you have a demon, and Jesus said, why are you trying to kill me? Oh, you have a demon. Who's trying to kill you? All of these sources were trying to discredit him, but he was right. And it was only the people who recognized that he was the right source that got benefited by it. The people who believed the Pharisees and the scribes and the Herodians, they ended up on the wrong side. And they lost their salvation. They lost their soul. So all I'm saying is, people, take advantage of programs like this and learn and educate yourself, because what's being said here is very precious.
I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on to all so you never miss an upload. And as always, keep God first, stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you all next time, man. Peace.
Vibes so raw, can't hide the truth. Words so sharp.